I gotta say, they did something right with each of these fragrances here that we're gonna be covering today. I easily give these a 10 out of 10 rating. I think they are perfect, and I'll go and explain the reason why I think that with each one here. If you're looking to add that next special scent to your collection, one of these might be it. If you have any sort of similarities in my taste, you know, if you've been watching this channel for a long time, and we often align when it comes to what I recommend and what you try and like, there's a good chance that these are really going to do it for you as well. Of course, blind buying always poses some risk. You know, if you're worried about it, sample them first. Some of these are available, you know, in department stores. You can go smell them firsthand in person. Others, maybe you'd have to track down a sample and purchase online. Unless you're super confident, that's always the way to go. I'll just say it right now. I blind bought all of these. I've blind bought basically my entire collection. And it's no joke either. I've been very lucky. I've been burned a couple times, but surprisingly enough, a lot of it has worked out very well. So anyway, 10 out of 10s, amazing stuff. I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. But I want to get kicked off with a great one for this August weather. Light blue Italian love. So they're really throwing in a lot of grapefruit, bergamot, ozonic notes, violet leaf. Really the most important note package here is the bergamot and grapefruit combination. So in Light Blue Forever, it was all about the grapefruit with those others. The bergamot really comes to surface here and gives it more balance, which I think a lot of people prefer. You know, it's so hard for me to choose a favorite. I'm just happy to have both. And if there's a situation where one is hard to get, but you can get the other, just get whichever one you can get. Because at the end of the day, they're both amazing. I do think, though, that Italian Love is going to have the ability to reach a larger audience. So that's kind of why I typically throw this one in instead. Next up, we have Prada L'Homme Intense. Now, this one is by far my favorite Prada L'Homme flanker. The reason why is because you still get that soapy iris, but they're throwing in a good amount of leather. You're getting some tonka. So they're just adding more to this DNA. They're making it a little bit more heavy, a little bit more rich, and it overall to me is more interesting. And that's not to say that the original Prada L'Homme is bad or boring or anything like that. It's very safe. It's a great work scent, a great school scent. It's all around a fantastic fragrance, but I think this one is better. And if you can get yourself a bottle of Prada L'Homme Intense, I recommend it highly. You know, the leather is not too strong, but it is there, and it does kind of give this a little bit more of a interesting creaminess. Same with the tonka bean. They're just adding more texture and just a little bit more to this overall. Definitely worth picking up Prada L'Homme Intense. MANCERA Tonka Cola, which is one of their newer releases here, to me is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when this one was announced, I saw the name and I knew I was probably going to like it. I saw the note breakdown and I really knew I was going to like it. And the anticipation was killing me. You know, I finally was able to get my hands on a bottle. This bottle size, the 60, wouldn't have been my first choice. However, it was all they had. And this was before it was even officially available. And so I just went ahead and got it. Rest assured, I will be grabbing myself a full 120 at some point now that it's on discounters and I can get it easier. That's something that I'll do probably this winter time. To be fair, this is so strong that this will last me a long time, but really, I just like having the 120s, and when I like something this much, it makes me feel better. Plus, this kind of looks out of place with all of my other MANCERAs. This was my first time purchasing a 60 ml from them. And the bottle is not much bigger than the cap. It's kind of a little bit funny looking next to the others. So what does it smell like? Well, the name is the perfect representation. You know, that doesn't always happen. It's not at any fault of anybody, but sometimes you may not name something in a describing way, but they did here and they nailed it. You get a lot of tonka bean, you get a Coca-Cola accord that's per the note breakdown. You get a little bit of a boozy kick, although I'm not even officially sure if that's listed off. You know, part of that is it kind of reminds you of a little bit of a Roja Enigma, which has a booziness going on. This doesn't have tobacco, though. It really officially doesn't have a boozy accord either, but it just gives you that impression because of that fizziness and that cola tonka sweetness going on. Very, very, very well done. And so is this a clone of the Roja? No, it's not, because it does its own thing, but definitely in the same vein, and you can see kind of where they were pulling from. Even the coloration and the accents of this bottle kind of alludes to that a little bit, but it definitely is its own creation. And look, they did the same with Cedrat-Boisé, maybe pulling a little bit of inspiration from Aventus, but yet it still turned out to be completely different. I see no harm with that because they created a product here that is just on its own amazing, and there are times where I would wear the Roja and there are times where I would wear this. I mean, really good stuff and 100% worth picking up. You can get it for just a touch over $100 for 120 ml. Great price per ml. Okay, next up we have Gucci Intense Oud. So, well, you know, it's got oud. You're getting a lot of woods in here as well. Some tonka beans, some spices, but it's a designer level oud that smells a little bit like Nasomato Black Afghano. Okay, so if you're familiar with that one, you'll know it's a fantastic scent. Smoky, woody, masculine, strong, and you know, it's expensive. Price per mil, it's a 30 ml bottle. It isn't extrait. Not going to rag on the price. It's fine. You know, it's a niche product. However, this one not only is going to be more affordable when you're talking about the price per milliliter, but also when you're talking about its wearability. This one's more designer level. Clearly, it's a designer and more wearable overall. I think this would be the better investment if you actually like to wear your fragrances often. You know, this here is I got to get this right, 90 ml bottle. So you might look at the price on paper and they look the same and you think I'm lying to you. But remember, price per milliliter. We're talking 90 ml versus 30 ml. Big difference in price there. So definitely one that I recommend. It's a discontinued scent, but it's actually pretty easy to get. I would get one of these or a couple of them while you can. Gucci is notorious for discontinuing their very best fragrances, and this is one of their better works right here. Hugo Boss The Scent Private Accord. One of my favorites. Another one that is officially discontinued, but you can get it right now. So I'm tossing it out there. Ginger, manica fruit, cacao. I think there's some leather going on in here as well. I want to say there's coffee, but I can't remember. I think there is, but it smells fantastic. The manica fruit is a signature within the line. They use it all over the place. They put it on the map. It is unique and smells like nothing else. And again, one of my favorites from the line here. It's a shame that they like to get rid of their best works, but they're giving us a new one every year, so they have to thin the herd at some point. The Scent Private Accord. I think they did great on this one. There's not a single thing I would change about this version. I like the additional notes that they added. Some of that chocolatey smell, that kind of coffee richness, that sweetness. It turned out amazing. I would say Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum turned out really well also. You know, they kind of went back a little bit to inspiration from Acqua di Gio Essenza, in my opinion. They're really ramping up the aromatics here, which is something that Essenza was known for. You obviously still get the aquatic notes and you still got that in Essenza, but they're really focusing in on, like, for example, the geranium, you know, a lot more of the lavender, a lot more of the sage, everything like that. Some green notes as well, and that's kind of what the geranium would give off. So, you know, they're still aquatic here, but they're just giving it more base, more substance, but also not going too far, like, for example, with the Parfum, which is adding in a little bit of a smokiness. So I think this is a great middle ground. If the Eau de Toilette is too fresh, the Parfum / Profumo is a little bit maybe too smoky for you, too intense. This is legitimately in the middle of those two, and it is the perfect balance. Sticking with that summer trend, we have a newer one from BRIONI. It is ECLAT. So essentially all this is, guys, is it is the BRIONI Eau de Parfum DNA, that style with the violet leaf, the ozonic notes type of smell, and some of the woods, but they're adding a lot of citrus, a lot of a really nice sugary grapefruit, bergamot, kind of lemon combo that you get off the top. A lot of musk in here for sure. Again, you're still getting some of those woods and some of that violet leaf type of texture that, again, is very common within the original BRIONI EDP. And, you know, it's not to say that you can't wear the original in summer. You could if you wanted. This one is more fit for the job. It's, again, fresher, brighter, more uplifting, and it turned out great. If you are a big fan of citrus fragrances, this is one you should check out. Beautiful frosted glass bottle. I'm always a fan of that. Nice magnetic cap, custom presentation on these. It's a great one. And also by default, because this is their fresher kind of summertime version, which is also still an eau de parfum, by the way, I had to double check. Given because it's a fresher version, it's a little bit cheaper than the others. One of my favorites up next from Carolina Herrera, it's Iris Empire. To make this very quick, because I've explained it before, here's what they did. They took the leather from CH Men Privé, that fantastic signature leather accord, they put it in here. Then they took just essentially their crack at an iris scent with some chocolate, a dark chocolate accord in here. Again, a little bit of a sandalwood creaminess. So you're getting essentially a gourmand scent with a little bit of that CH Men Privé leather, and with how this smells and that type of leather used, it even almost gives off that splash of whiskey type of smell, which obviously Privé had whiskey in it standalone, but that leather, man, there's something about that particular type used in here, almost like it gives it a little bit of a boozy kick as well. It is by far one of my favorite iris scents. Talked about it before. I was immensely blown away when I first tried this one, because I came to that realization right away. Like, holy crap, it's like they took Dior Homme Intense, Valentino Homme Intense, that DNA, the chocolate iris, added more chocolate, and then threw in some CH Men Privé. That's how this smells, and it is amazing, addicting, and I'm going to wear this as much as I can this winter time. Beautiful scent. And last up, we have Terre d'Hermès Eau Givrée. It's got some citron in here, which is the driving force of the freshness. You get some juniper berries, some woody notes, which is very common within the Terre d'Hermès DNA, a cedar wood, just general woods, giving it a little bit of an earthy, masculine woodiness. But again, it's focusing on that citrus top note. This is their summertime version. This is the one that you are going to want to wear the most when it is hot outside, and it is fantastic. It's a nice one to have if you're craving some Terre d'Hermès in the summertime. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. These are amazing smash hits in my opinion. Definitely worth checking out. And again, if you want to get notified of some of the very best deals, stuff like Dior Homme Parfum, La Nuit Bleu Electrique, get on my mailing list at the first link down below, and jump on my texting list down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.